What if I told you women are constantly sending signals and most men completely miss them? Not because they're clueless, but because no one ever taught them what to look for. Welcome to Woman's Secret Signals, the channel where we decode the hidden language of attraction, psychology, and behavior that women rarely explain, but always express. Here, you won't hear the usual dating cliches. You'll learn how to read between the lines, the subtle eye contact that means interest, the mixed signals that actually signal attraction, the silence that says more than words ever could. Because the truth is, attraction isn't always spoken. It's shown in small, almost invisible ways. And once you understand these signals, everything changes. You stop guessing, you stop overthinking, and you start seeing what's been right in front of you all along. So if you're ready to understand women on a deeper level, and finally stop missing the signs that matter, make sure you subscribe. Because here, we don't chase attraction. We decode it. Have you ever walked into a room and noticed people subtly looking your way, but no one says anything? Or maybe you've been told you're attractive, yet your dating life doesn't reflect it. Here's the truth most people don't realize: attraction isn't always obvious, loud, or direct. In fact, some of the most attractive men go completely unaware of their appeal. In today's video, we're breaking down 6 powerful signs that you are a very attractive man, based on female psychology. These aren't the typical "you get compliments" or "people flirt with you" signs. Instead, we're diving deeper into subtle behavioral patterns that reveal how women actually perceive you. Because here's the thing: women don't always express attraction in obvious ways. In many cases, attraction shows up as nervousness, distance, curiosity, or even avoidance. Yes, you heard that right. Sometimes the more attractive you are, the more confusing people's reactions can become. If you've ever felt like people act strangely around you, or you get mixed signals from women, this video is going to open your eyes. You might be far more attractive than you think, and the signs have been right in front of you all along. We're going to explore psychological cues, social behaviors, and emotional reactions that indicate high attraction, even when no one explicitly says it. And by the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these signs, but also understand how to use this awareness to your advantage. So stay with me, because sign number 1 might completely change the way you see yourself and how others see you. Let's get into it. The first and most overlooked sign that you're a very attractive man is this: people, especially women, get nervous around you. Now, this might sound counterintuitive. You'd expect attraction to lead to confidence, flirting, and smooth conversations, right? But in reality, female psychology often works differently. When a woman finds a man highly attractive, it can actually trigger anxiety instead of confidence. Think about it. When someone feels like they're in the presence of a high-value or highly desirable person, they become more self-aware. They start overthinking what they say, how they look, and how they're being perceived. And that pressure, it creates nervous behavior. You might notice things like, she avoids eye contact even though she keeps glancing at you. Her tone changes, or she fumbles her words. She laughs more than usual, even at simple things. Or she seems slightly distant or reserved around you. At first glance, you might misinterpret this as disinterest. You might think she's not into me or she's acting cold. But the truth could be the complete opposite. Attraction, especially strong attraction, can feel intimidating. Many women don't want to appear too eager, and at the same time, they don't want to risk embarrassment. So instead of leaning in, they pull back, not because they're not interested, but because they care too much about how they're coming across. This is where most men get it wrong. They assume confidence equals attraction and nervousness equals rejection. But often, nervousness is actually a sign that you've made a strong impression. So if you notice women acting a little awkward, shy, or unusually quiet around you, don't be so quick to write it off. It might not be a lack of attraction, it might be a sign of it. And once you understand this, it changes how you respond. Instead of pulling away, you create a more relaxed space, which makes it easier for that attraction to grow naturally. The second sign that you're a very attractive man is this: You often receive mixed signals from women. One moment, she seems interested. She's smiling, engaging in conversation, maybe even initiating contact. And then suddenly, she pulls back. She becomes distant, replies less, or acts like she's not that interested anymore. It feels confusing, even frustrating. But here's what most men don't realize: mixed signals are often a byproduct of strong attraction, not a lack of it. When a woman is dealing with mild or average attraction, her behavior tends to be more consistent. She's either interested or she's not. But when the attraction is intense, emotions become more complicated. She might feel excited, nervous, curious, but also cautious, unsure, or even intimidated. This internal conflict creates inconsistent behavior. On one hand, she wants to get closer to you. On the other hand, she's trying to protect herself. Maybe she's worried about getting hurt. Maybe she feels like you're out of her league. Or maybe she doesn't want to appear too available. So what does she do? She leans in, then pulls away. She gives attention, then withdraws it. She shows interest, then suddenly becomes hard to read. To you, it feels like a game. But to her, it's often a subconscious emotional response. Now, this doesn't mean every mixed signal equals attraction. Sometimes inconsistency really does mean disinterest. But when you notice a pattern where interest keeps resurfacing after distance, that's when you should pay attention. Highly attractive men often trigger this push-pull dynamic without even trying. The key here is not to chase the inconsistency. Instead, stay grounded. Don't overreact to the highs or the lows. When you remain calm and consistent, you naturally stand out because you're not adding to the emotional chaos. And that stability? It's incredibly attractive. So if women seem hot and cold around you, don't immediately assume something is wrong. It might actually be a sign that your presence is having a stronger impact than you realize. The third sign that you're a very attractive man is this: people often assume you're already in a relationship. This one is subtle, but incredibly telling. Have you ever had someone say something like, "Your girlfriend must be lucky," or "I bet you have a lot of options," even when they know nothing about your personal life? Or maybe women hesitate to flirt with you altogether, as if they've already decided you're unavailable. That's not random. That's perception. When a man appears highly attractive, whether it's due to his looks, confidence, or overall presence, people naturally assume he's in demand. And in most cases, they take it a step further and assume he's already taken. From a psychological standpoint, this is a protective assumption. Instead of risking rejection or competition, many women simply opt out before even trying. They convince themselves, he probably already has someone, or he's out of my league anyway. And just like that, opportunities disappear before they even begin. This can create a strange paradox in your dating life. You might be attractive, desirable, and noticeable, yet not approached as often as you'd expect. Not because women aren't interested, but because they assume they don't stand a chance. It also explains why sometimes the only women who openly approach you are those who are extremely confident or have nothing to lose. Everyone else stays at a distance, watching, observing, but not acting. If you've ever felt like people admire you from afar but rarely make a move, this could be the reason. The key here is awareness. When you understand that people might already be placing you in the taken category, you can subtly counteract it. Simple things like being more open in conversations, showing availability through your body language, or initiating interaction yourself can break that assumption. Because the truth is, attraction alone isn't always enough. Sometimes, people need a signal that it's safe to engage. So if others seem hesitant around you, don't take it personally. It might not be a lack of interest. It might be that they've already convinced themselves you're unavailable. Section 5, sign number 4, number 5, and number 6, the final proof you're highly attractive. Now, let's bring it all together with the final 3 signs that you're a very attractive man, and these ones are often the most revealing. Sign number 4, you get stared at. A lot asterisk asterisk. This is one of the clearest indicators, but it's also the easiest to overlook. People look at you, not just casually, but repeatedly. You'll catch someone glancing at you, then quickly looking away when you notice. Or you might feel eyes on you when you walk into a room. What's interesting is that these looks aren't always accompanied by smiles or obvious signals. Sometimes they're neutral, even serious. But that doesn't mean anything negative, it simply means you've captured attention. Attraction often begins with observation. And if people can't help but look at you, it's usually because something about you stands out in a powerful way. This is something many guys don't talk about. If you're highly attractive, other men may treat you differently. Some might become competitive, distant, or even slightly hostile without any clear reason. Others may try to downplay you or avoid engaging altogether. Why? Because attraction doesn't just affect women, it also affects how men perceive you as competition. When you walk into a space with presence, confidence, or strong physical appeal, it can trigger comparison. And not everyone is comfortable with that. So if you've ever noticed tension, subtle rivalry, or unusual reactions from other men, it could be a sign that you naturally stand out. Sign number 6, people remember you easily. Finally, the last sign you're memorable. You meet someone once, and later they recall small details about you. They recognize you in public, bring up past conversations, or seem to hold onto your presence longer than expected. Attractive people leave a psychological imprint. It's not just about looks, it's about the overall impression you create. Your energy, your vibe, your presence, it sticks. And when people remember you without effort, it's a strong indicator that you made an impact. Closing thought. So if you relate to several of these signs, nervous reactions, mixed signals, assumptions about your availability, constant attention, subtle competition, and being remembered, there's a high chance you're far more attractive than you've been giving yourself credit for. The key now isn't just knowing it, it's owning it. Because when you combine awareness with confidence, that's when attraction truly becomes powerful.